Steve Wiltfong and Pete Nakos reported Arizona State quarterback Sam Leavitt, his return to the program after this year is supposedly doubtful. Leavitt's camp is actively shopping the talented passer at, quote, the highest level. Interesting. Very interesting. So again, just to put this out there, Sam Leavitt not officially in the transfer portal as of right now. But if Steve Wiltfong and Pete Nakos are reporting it, I'm trusting it. Sounds like he may not be back at Arizona State next year. So I don't think it's inappropriate with that report being out there to just kind of speculate a little bit. Should Arizona State not be where Sam Leavitt plays college football at next year? That's a dude who can throw the pigskin now. It's a talented dude at quarterback. He's got a Big 12 title to his name. NFL future for number 10, Sam Leavitt. Where could he potentially end up at? Now, Sam Leavitt, hear me clearly. The Cornell Big Red would love your services. We're throwing the ball around the yard right now. We got a head coach that's in his second year, going to be his third year next year. So we're ascending, brother. You want to go get a premier education and you want to go play in the Ancient Eight, one of the most storied conferences in college football, the Cornell Big Red will happily take you, Sam Leavitt. We'll talk about that later, off the air, rather. Sam, if you want to give me a call. But I think Tennessee would be awesome for Sam Leavitt, dude. Awesome. Like, do we see what Josh Heupel's doing right now with Joey Aguilar? An individual who had never played a snap of Power 4 football just yet, walks into the SEC, walks into that offense, and starts getting buckets. One of the best passers in the country, probably changed his NFL future. I'm Sam Leavitt. I'm saying I can do that. With Josh Heupel, I can get spring practice at least and probably set up to be able to do something like that. The marriage of Josh Heupel and Sam Leavitt together, I think, would be absolutely phenomenal. Also, Tennessee, you're going to need a quarterback, it looks like here. If I'm reading how things are probably going to break with Joey Aguilar not getting more eligibility, that's how I think this whole thing is going to go, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. If I'm Sam Leavitt, I'm just saying, can I not turn it over like Joey Aguilar? If that's the case, can win a lot of ball games in Knoxville, play in the SEC, have a really good filter for pro scouts when it comes to assessing your tape for the next level. I'd be here for Sam Leavitt, Tennessee, y'all, just to keep it a buck. Y'all, we're kidding ourselves if we think Miami is not going to be in the transfer portal quarterback market. That'd be another team I'm going to watch here for Sam Leavitt should he end up going into the transfer portal. The past 2 years, Miami has landed Cam Ward, been in the mix for John Mateer, and landed Carson Beck. Translation, they're going to go after a portal quarterback, is how I'm reading this whole thing. Should anything change, we'll see. But that's the way this whole thing is looking. If I'm Sam Leavitt, too, I'm looking at the blueprint out there from a one Cam Ward. Transfer to Miami, have a big year, go be the number 1 overall pick. Not a bad situation. We'll see how this whole script reads for Carson Beck at the end of this year. But I think you see the potential in that system. You see the potential of going to Coral Gables and having success in that offense, throwing to those receivers. There's a lot there. They're going to air it out. As long as Shannon Dawson's the OC out there, Miami would be a destination for me if I were a portal quarterback. And it looks like Sam Leavitt may be a portal quarterback. So I would keep an eye on Miami and the Canes to be in that market once again. Hey, how about Indiana? The portal track record there when it comes to the quarterback position in a 2-year sample size under Coach Cignetti. Curtis Rourke had a tremendous year, taking Indiana to the college football playoff in 1 year there. And now Fernando Mendoza, probably going to be a top 10 pick when he comes out. Again, if I'm Sam Leavitt, I'm looking at that and saying, okay, it's not a bad spot to show up at. Also go play in the Big 10. You likely play against some of the better competition that you maybe wouldn't play against in the Big 12. I think Indiana makes all the sense in the world if I'm a portal quarterback. And if I'm Sam Leavitt, I would absolutely take a look at that program to be my next destination with the pristine track record there when it comes to quarterbacks they've acquired and getting them up to speed and having tremendous years in a 2-year sample size under Cignetti. Now, a couple more spots, but I'm going to go ahead and label these destinations for Sam Leavitt as hinge destinations. Now, not the app, not the dating app. These are destinations where they hinge on one thing breaking Sam Leavitt's way for them to be in a spot where they would need a quarterback for the majority of these. It'll make sense. Alabama, if Ty Simpson leaves, he's like, yeah, you know what? I kind of tore up the SEC for 1 year. I'm probably going to be the top quarterback in this draft class. Maybe Alabama wins a national championship, and Ty Simpson says, you know what? I'm good. Alabama would make a ton of sense for Sam Leavitt. Literally, if your goal is to be an NFL quarterback, go play for an offensive coordinator in Ryan Grubb, who was just in the NFL like 30 seconds ago. Also, playing in the SEC, you have the filter of playing against some of the best competition in college football. I think that would make a lot of sense for Sam Leavitt should Ty Simpson decide to go pro. Now, in the same way, Sam Leavitt's from Oregon. Whenever anybody jumps in the transfer portal, one of the first things I go to look at to try and get a gauge for where they could end up at is, hey, where are you from? Because honestly, a lot of us, man, anytime you leave home for college, whether you're a student or an athlete, the desire your freshman year at some point throughout your college career is to get back close to home. So if Sam Leavitt jumps in the portal, Oregon can make a lot of sense. Now, this all hinges upon the idea of, well, does Dante Moore want to go pro? Maybe it's the same discussion we just had with Ty Simpson. Dante Moore's looking at his draft stock like, yeah, it's looking pretty nice right now. I could be a first-round draft pick. If that's the reality, he jumps to the NFL. Sam Leavitt gets to go back close to home, play for an offense under Will Stein, assuming he's the OC there, that has developed Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel, and now Dante Moore, all to the tune of having them be Heisman finalists, if Dante Moore's a Heisman finalist potentially, or NFL draft pick. I mean, Bo Nix was a first-round draft pick. So there's a lot there for Sam Leavitt. Should he have the opportunity to be the guy at Oregon, that would make sense to me. And this last destination is sort of a couple of destinations baked into one. If I'm Sam Leavitt, I am monitoring very closely wherever Lane Kiffin goes or if he stays at Ole Miss. Because honestly, like, I like DJ Lagway. I'd take Sam Leavitt over DJ Lagway today. LSU, we'll see what happens with Michael Van Buren and that whole quarterback room. I'd be hard-pressed to not take Sam Leavitt to be my starter should I end up being the head coach at LSU. If he stays at Ole Miss, we'll see what happens with Trinidad Chambliss and Austin Simmons. But, like, I take Sam Leavitt over a lot of those guys as well. Now, I don't know if it's like a far and away I'll take Sam Leavitt over Trinidad Chambliss conversation. But you see where I'm going with this. If Lane Kiffin will take you as his quarterback, given his track record, that to me would be very difficult to turn down if I'm Sam Leavitt, regardless of who Lane Kiffin is coaching next season. So a lot of options on the table there, it seems like, for Sam Leavitt. We'll see what happens if he actually jumps into the transfer portal, but those options, in my mind, would make sense should they be on the table for him. But again, Steve Wiltfong, Pete Nakos, both reporting that it is doubtful Sam Leavitt's back at Arizona State next year and that his camp is currently shopping him around.